In this session, you'll learn about the benefits of the CyberArk solution and how to use it. As an employee, you are required to log in and interact with various systems and different types of software. To access these systems and software, you must provide and remember multiple passwords. In many cases, the systems you access hold privileged information, such as customer information or sensitive company information. When you have access to privileged information, it makes you a privileged user, and unfortunately, a prime target for attackers. The problem is that most breaches now involve stolen credentials, and whenever possible, the attacker goes after the privileged user's credentials, because these are the ones that provide the access they need to get control over the IT infrastructure. Over the years, companies asked their privileged users to come up with strong passwords and to keep those passwords confidential. However, this is insufficient, as it is hard for most of us to memorize complex passwords, and attackers these days can easily crack any password. This is where the CyberArk solution can help you. The solution provides you with single sign-on capabilities to all privileged applications. Now, you only need to memorize one password, and it will connect you securely to the system that you need. CyberArk also provides more secured workflows against cyber attacks by validating the identity of the user using multi-factor authentication and limiting and monitoring access to sensitive data.
Let's see how simple it is to connect to a system using the CyberArk solution in the upcoming topics.
I know that change isn't always easy. I want to help you understand CyberArk's Privilege Access Manager and why it is really going to benefit you and keep your organization safe. Let's begin your journey with a story about Stacy and Julia. Both Stacy and Julia work for the Andor online clothing company, but they have separate roles and conduct themselves differently in their daily lives. Let's meet Stacy first. Stacy is an extremely qualified database administrator. Stacy knows the importance of security because she has privileged access to so many sensitive databases. Stacy knows that to be secure against the ongoing threat from bad actors, she must be vigilant. Stacy uses unique, complex passwords for all the databases she accesses and routinely rotates those passwords. Stacy would never store any credentials on her system. Instead, she has managed to memorize them all. Memorizing all the complex passwords and then changing them on a regular basis has made life tough for Stacy, but she understands the threat and takes it upon herself to make sure she does everything she can to make herself and her organization secure. Stacy is also cautious of suspicious emails, being sure to flag anything that seems out of the ordinary. You will never find Stacy's laptop unlocked when she leaves for the day. All this mindfulness makes Stacy a security superstar, and to her credit, she has never been the victim of a breach. Well, at least not yet. Let's move across the hallway and find out a little more about our friend Julia. Julia is a developer for her organization. She loves to experiment with systems because that helps her find creative solutions to programming problems. Julia works less cautiously. She knows she has no access to any production systems, and therefore does not worry too much about being a victim of a breach. Julia does what she needs to be successful in her work by taking part in many reputable online forums, email lists, Discord servers, to share knowledge and ideas with many fellow developers. Ultimately, Julia is successful and is quite the developer. This is where our stories collide. One day, Julia opens an email that would appear to anyone as having come from one of her trusted online forums. However, without her knowledge, Julia unexpectedly introduced malware to her system. Julia became part of a targeted attack. The malware harvests credentials that have been used on Julia's system, including those of the desktop administrator who recently helped Julia install a new printer driver. Using the stolen desktop administrator credentials, the malware spreads to many other workstations, including Stacy's, who is our security superstar. The malware installs a keylogger on Stacy's system and captures the credentials she is typing while doing work on a database that holds personal identifiable information such as bank account information for payroll. Attackers were able to vandalize systems, and management believes that some of the critical data may have been stolen using Stacy's credentials. Stacy, who is ever so careful, has been a victim of a breach and is upset. Because it is Stacy's credentials that were used, management is looking to her for answers. Stacy did nothing wrong but still managed to become a victim. Julia was simply doing what is required of her to be the best developer, and unfortunately fell victim to an attack that could have happened to any one of us. This story is all too possible in our day-to-day activities. As you explore this education, you will learn how to navigate CyberArk and all the benefits that come with it.
Let us look at how to view and connect to the CyberArk web portal.
After the breach and her online close decided that CyberArk Privilege Access Manager will be the best solution to reduce the risk of another attack. Stacy wonders what this means to her. Stacy has always been so diligent about her passwords. Will she still need to remember all her passwords? Will she need to change them more often? With new security, Stacy is concerned this will add layers of difficulty for her and slow things down. Well, Stacy, there is good news. You can now have security without adding any extra steps. With CyberArk, there is no longer a need to remember long, complex passwords. Changing passwords is easy with CyberArk. Making it easier to change should encourage everyone to do it more often. CyberArk prevents you from becoming a victim of social engineering because you can't reveal a password you don't know. Stacy now wishes this had been in place. She might not have had her credentials used in the attack. The CyberArk portal allows you to view and sort your accounts lists and securely connect to systems and applications such as Windows machines, secure shell devices, databases, and more. Why don't we look at how Stacy can perform these functions in the web portal? Let's explore how Stacy can easily connect and view the databases she requires access to. She will begin by logging into the CyberArk web portal. For this demonstration, we have customized her account's view with different keywords. To access the SA account, Stacy navigates to the SQL option under the Saved Accounts view, locates and clicks the SA account. Once selected, she can click the Show option and reveal the password that she can then copy and use to connect to the database. If Stacy wants to access the database from the web portal, she could click the Connect option. For this example, we are using PSM to broker a session with SQL Server Management Studio, but other managed utilities can be utilized based off your database type. You can always contact your CyberArk administrator for more details. Stacy can also connect to a database from a Windows domain account. Stacy will be prompted to prove the server's name or instance and reason for accessing the database. She selects Connect and once again is connected to the database through a privileged session manager connection.
Now let us look at how Stacy explores into the PSM tool.
Stacy was impressed by the ability to access the databases from the web portal. She wonders if there is a way to access the databases without having to log into the web portal to do so. Stacy is in luck. CyberArk offers a tool that will allow Stacy to gain access from a desktop app. To get started, Stacy downloads the PSM Connection Manager tool from the CyberArk Marketplace. When using this tool, Stacy will log in with her credentials first. This connects her to CyberArk, allowing her to simply access the shortcuts directly. For example, Stacy can now locate the SA account and connect to her target database. It will open just like it did in the web portal. The tool brokers a connection to the database utilizing SQL Server Management Studio. Stacy is now connected to the database she requires access to. This is also true of the Windows domain account when connecting to a target database. To access this, Stacy would locate the database through the PSM tool and select it, then selects the way she would like to connect. And just like before, she is given access. Stacy really likes this tool. She feels it will help her streamline her work while giving her a sense of safety provided by the security of CyberArk.